What's up, my people? It's Cat Sports again. Now, this is a sports channel, so let's talk some sports. Now, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community, Just Boxing Talk. We're a community of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. You don't have to have a channel or a podcast, anything like that. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. Tim Layton. What's up, Tim Layton, JBT? I'm out and about today, so I'm on my phone in the parking lot of this shopping center. Sound okay? Merry Christmas, Tim Layton. Happy holidays to you and your family also. How are you this afternoon? Christmas Eve. I'm always caught out here at the last minute with the rest of the crazy people that stand in all these lines and stuff. So I'm on my phone. I hope I sound okay. At first, I couldn't even get the mic to work. That's why I'm so late. But I'm here. I figured since my buddy Jay Hardcore been down for the last few days, we got it. The JBT got to have somebody in the daytime, giving them some boxing talk. So here I am. But the day of reckoning is now in the history books. And I guess Wilder versus AJ is also history. Man. Wow. Wilder dropped the bag bad, didn't he? Ruined the party. Deontay. Woo. He came up way short against Joseph Parker. But remember, I said Friday, if Parker could get it to those judges, hey. Actually, I had Parker favored in a decision, but I picked Wilder to stop him. But I didn't know it was going to be like that. Wilder clearly a mixture of old age and inactivity, Old age and inactivity, a mixture of both. AJ held up his part of the bargain, though, and looked good doing it. Yup. They were the main attractions on a stacked card. But Deontay didn't get it done. That's the way it goes sometimes. I think Deontay should go ahead and hang it up. Right after the fight, they always say, I'm coming back, disappointment of the loss. But after a little while to think about it, he may change his mind and hang it up. He's a very rich man, He could have retired just off of those 3 Fury fights. He didn't have to fight another day in his life after the 3rd Fury fight. So I hope he reconsiders, because that AJ last night wipes the floor with that Wilder last night. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm just being factual, man. I like Wilder, but I'm not a fanboy. I keep it 100. I repeat, that AJ last night wipes the floor with that Wilder last night. Probably stops him, Fruits, gas, boxing, jazz, and more. What's up, bro? I hope it sound okay, because I'm at the mall. I'm out in the parking lot on my phone. Didn't make it home in time. I'm one of those people that are always out there at the last minute, running around like a maniac, and here I am sitting on the parking lot doing my show from my truck. Crazy, man. But hey, it's all good. We here. I hope I sound okay. I couldn't even get my mic to work on this phone. That's why I was so late. BN Boxing News just came into the building. What's up, BN Boxing News? You probably been here, but I was late. Sorry about that. I was just talking about the Day of Reckoning. It's in the books. And Wilder and AJ is also history. Deontay dropped the ball bad. Probably better for him because, like I was just saying, that AJ last night wiped the floor with that Wilder last night. You know, just keeping it 100, man. So it's probably better that he didn't get the AJ, you know, because it would have been bad, man. That AJ last night stops that Wilder last night, okay? In bad fashion, too. But we had 8 good fights on the card. I watched part of the card over there with Bruce Gass. Enjoyed myself thoroughly over there. Y'all need to get on over there and watch some of those fights. That was my first time being over there, but it won't be my last time. That's for sure. And I texted with Jay the other day, but when he's coming back on the air, it didn't come up. The day we was talking about him, what was that, Friday? Yeah, Friday. After I got off my show, I texted with him, but he didn't bring it up, so I didn't bring it up, you know. Yeah. But, you know, I have been in contact with him, so yeah. This is what, the 3rd day? Yeah, man. That age and inactivity was really in evidence. You know, he got 1 round in over 2 years, and the guy he's fighting had 3 fights this year, man. Come on. What you know, it's just, yeah. Yeah. You know, I like Deontay and everything, and was hoping he could win it, but I wasn't looking at it. I was looking at it from my heart, not from my mind, you know. Like I just said, you got a man with 1 round in the last 2 years. He's fighting a guy with 3 fights this year, man. You know. Looking at it realistically, we should have saw that coming. We should have saw that coming. Yeah. Yeah. If he's going to continue fighting, he's got to fight more than once every 2 years, you know. If that's going to be the case, just hang it up. You know, he's a very rich man. He could have retired after the 3 Fury fights and been comfortable for the rest of his life, you know. Both of those guys made a whole boatload of money, Fury and Wilder. But, you know, if he's going to choose to keep fighting, fight. You know, not once every 2 years, because you're going to have to keep having that same result, especially at 38 years old. Yeah. Yeah. And like I was telling Tim, before everybody came in, of course, he's going to say after the fight, he's going to continue. He's still got the adrenaline flowing and the disappointment from the loss. But as you think about it, the wild talk with his wife, you know, he might change his mind and hang it up, you know. You expect him to say that last night, I'm coming back and to do this and do that, you know. But we got to let a little bit of time pass by to get the real deal on it, you know. I say hang it up. I say hang it up. Because Herkovic, what was the other guy named that beat the big Russian guy, man? Wilder in there with those guys, man. And if you can't get that right hand in, be the same result. I might get stopped by those guys, man. You know? Yeah. Father Time is undefeated. Yeah, that's somebody's O that's never gonna go Father Time. That O ain't going nowhere. Okay, Father Time O has always been there, and it's gonna always be there. You know, anybody disagree with that? Father Time is gonna stay undefeated. His O is not going anywhere. Okay, that's one O that don't got to go. Yeah, man. But we had a good card though, man. Was it 6 out of the 8 fights were stoppages? Very fan friendly. I think Revolve and the Parker Wilder fight were the only 2 that went the distance. I mean, Du Bois and Big Baby went 8 seconds, within 8 seconds of going the distance, but it didn't. Du Bois got him out of there with 8 seconds left, so it was a stoppage. So very fan friendly. 6 out of the 8 fights were stoppages. The first 4, no, the first 5, and then Bivol came out in the 6th one and went the distance. Then we had 2 straight go the distance, Bivol and Parker, and then AJ came back with the stoppage. AJ looked good, man. Uh-oh, no voice. Man, I see. Oh, God, I tell you, this phone, man. Du Bois and Big Baby went 8 seconds. Okay. I'm trying to see what I can do. No voice. Am I back? AJ came back with the stop. AJ looked good. Am I back? Okay. Du Bois and Big Baby went 8 seconds. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on my phone out in the truck, man. Okay. Yeah, at first when I was late because I couldn't even get the mic to work on this thing, but let me know if I go out again. I'm gonna do my best. But I was just gonna look at these fights a little real quick. Just briefly. Probably won't have a profile today since I was so late. Thank you, Bruce Gas. Appreciate you, bro. And a great job yesterday, Bruce. If I didn't tell you on the call, enjoyed myself thoroughly. That was my first time, but it definitely won't be my last time listening to your call, bro. Great job. Had the jazz playing in the background, man. I turned the sound on the broadcast down and listened to Bruce. Yeah. They didn't have no jazz playing in the background or nothing. Yeah, I was there for a good bit of it, Bruce. Yeah. My wife was feeding me the glasses of wine. It was an enjoyable day, man. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed yesterday. The day of reckoning was a smashing success, if you ask me. Yeah. Yep. That's what I call a good Saturday. Yesterday. Yeah. But like I was saying, and the card was very fan friendly because we had 6 out of the 8 fights were stoppages. You know, you can't get no better than that. And Bivol was trying, but Arthur was really fighting not to get stopped. After like halfway, got into like 7th, 8th rounds when he was like getting shut out. He's like, okay, I'm going to lose, but he's not going to stop me. And, he wasn't going for it, That's the way I saw it. He was just doing enough to keep the referee from stopping it. And, just trying to survive. So, I had Bivol throwing a shutout though. Yeah, definitely threw a shutout. So maybe now we'll get him and Better Be. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Because you see what happened yesterday. We was talking, they even had a date for Wilder and AJ in March. So I'm not gonna say Bivol and Better Be just yet. I'm gonna wait and see what happens on January 13th. Because Callum Smith is not he ain't a pushover. You know, he's not a pushover. So we got to see what happens with that first. And Better Be is I think he's the same age as Wilder, 38, right? And he relies on power. But I think Better Be is a better all-around boxer than Wilder too, though. You know, he doesn't rely solely on power, which Wilder did yesterday. And he wouldn't let his hands go. I'd never seen him like that before. That much movement, just keeping the right hand cocked for rounds. He was going 1-2 rounds, just keeping it cocked, you know? And I told you, Friday, Du Bois had some lightning quick reflexes, man. He was ducking that hammer. He was ducking that hammer, man. He basically took that right hand away from Wilder, you know? That's what he basically did, took it away from him. Yep. And then I believe who was the first fight? Was it Frank Sanchez and Junior Farr? I believe so. It was one of the first ones. Frank got a TKO in the 7th round. Yeah. Frank fought pretty good early behind that jab, and he showed that fundamentally sound style, like most Cuban fighters are, you know. Very fundamentally sound. Hands up, you know, textbook jab. Moves well, you know. And he was off target early with his overhand right. And he was kind of sputtering his punches too, early, you know. Yeah, up close. Sputtering his work up close. But Farr was another one. He hadn't fought in over a year. His last fight was in around summer 2021 or something like that. I know it was over a year. Remo, what's happening, Remo? The day of reckoning is history, Remo. And Wilder versus AJ is history too. What do you think about the day of reckoning, Remo? Yeah. Well, Remo, hindsight is 2020 vision. Looking at it now, Ruiz should have took it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right, Remo. He could have been the only one to beat both of them. But like I say, hindsight is 2020 vision. You know, we didn't know Wilder was going to look like that. Nobody did. But we should have. Looking at his age and the inactivity. And he's in there against a guy that fought 3 times this year. Very active opponent. So all the warning was right there for us to see what happening. It was there, man. But you know, we just didn't see it. We so used to Wilder getting that sledgehammer in there and putting them away. We never seen anybody take that right hand away from Wilder before, but Parker did it, man. And I told you Friday he had lightning quick reflexes, and he was ducking that sledgehammer. I think one round he kind of was stunned. I believe it was 8. The same round they had Wilder in trouble on the ropes. I think Wilder kind of stunned Parker early in that round, but Parker played it off well. He played it off well. And every time Wilder did touch him with that right, he came right back with that overhand right and touched Wilder. Wilder could never sustain an attack. Not one time, not once in the fight did he sustain an attack after he landed that right hand. Hello, Victoria Thomas, waving the pink hand. Yeah, not once. Yeah, I would say so, Remo. Like I was telling everybody else before you came in, of course, last night he's going to say, I'm coming back and do this and do that because the adrenaline's still flowing. The fight just ended. But after he gets out, talk to his wife, some time passed by, you know, he might change his mind and retire. But of course, he's going to say what he said last night. They all do, you know. You just got beat. Only thing you can think of is redeeming yourself. But let a little time pass by. You know, I think he should retire. What's up, Gregory Pratt? How you doing, GP? Gregory, have you talked to Jay? I texted with him yesterday, but, you know, he didn't say anything about any shows, so I didn't bring it up either. But have you talked to him? Yeah. Yeah, we was going over the Day of Reckoning. It's in the books. And it was a good card, too. 6 out of the 8 were stoppages. First 5 straight, Bivol came out. Lyndon Arthur was fighting not to be stopped. So, you know, pretty hard to stop a guy when they fight. They know they're gonna lose. They resign to lose. They just fight not to be stopped. And that's what Arthur was doing after like round 7. That's what I saw anyway. Anybody agree? Just do boxing in the building. Yeah. So then we had the 2 distance fights back to back. Wilder and Parker and Bivol won decisions, and then AJ finished it off with a stoppage. So the Day of Reckoning was nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was over there with Bruce Gass. Colin did an excellent job calling the fight. Yeah. So, I guess Wilder and AJ is history. But you know, like I was saying before everybody came in, it might be a good thing that Wilder got beat last night, because that AJ last night wipes the floor with that Wilder. I'm just keeping it 100, man. Probably stops him. And like Remo said, Andy Ruiz probably would have got him. Oh, good, Gregory. Good news. Good news. GP says Jay is resting up, but the big homie is good. That is good news. Good news. Because like I said, I texted with him yesterday, but you know, we didn't talk about him coming back or anything. But that's great news. But like Remo was saying, Andy Ruiz probably would have beat that Wilder if he would have took that fight. But he didn't know. If he didn't known it was going to be that Wilder, he would have took that sign, hurried up and took that fight. But Frank Sanchez got a what was it? A 5th round stoppage over Junior Farr. 7th round, yeah. Took a little time to get warmed up. He was messing with his overhand right earlier, then he was mothering his work up close. But Farr hadn't fought in 14 months himself, so, you know, he was coming in off a layoff. He really didn't do anything till, wow, like the 7th round or something, before he really got going. Yeah. About the 6th, 7th round. He got a couple of heavy shots in. But then Sanchez got a nice jab to the body. Farr set up that overhand right that put Farr on the canvas. He got up. But then the next round, Farr got him with a combination and followed it up with a barrage of punches. Farr went down again. He got up again too. But then Sanchez caught him with another combination. I think it was a roundhouse left and a right to the temple, and that was all she wrote. Sanchez goes to 24 wins, no losses, 17 knockouts. Fall dropped to 20-3. Okay, Remo says Tank and Devin better stop fooling around before the moment slips away. It's about talent and timing in sports. That's right. Look at AJ and Wilder. Yeah, that fight is gone. See? Yes. Stop messing around. Yeah. And Devin is just slipping further and further away and wait, you know. Yeah. Further and further away. Yeah. I agree, Remo. I agree. Jai Apatea was next against no, it wasn't. It was Philip Hergovich and Mark DeMori. That was a first round stoppage. We don't have to say too much about that. I think that was like 50-1 odds or something coming in anyway, you know. And the actual fight was even worse than the odds. You know, it should have been like 80-1 odds, the way that thing went. I mean, he dropped less than a minute in, wasn't it? Less than a minute into the fight, he dropped him. Then it was stopped shortly after that. DeMori didn't want to fight. He didn't put up any kind of fight at all. So that's 17 straight for Hergovich, 14 knockouts. DeMori has 41 wins, 3 losses. Wow. 36 knockouts. Then Jai Apatea came in against Elizoro. Now Apatea, he had to, what's up, Aunt McQueen? Apatea had to drop his cruiserweight strap because the IBF had ordered him to fight, I forgot who it was. Was it Breeders? Yeah. And he wasn't ready to fight, so Apatea had the option of waiting for Breeders or getting that money, you know. So he chose the money. I don't blame him. You know, he might have never got this opportunity again. So he took this fight. He had to vacate his belt, and he had a was it the first round knockout too? I know it didn't last long. Let me see, I had it written down somewhere. I know it was brutal. What round was it that Apatea got his knockout in? I can't find it. Yeah, first round too. So we had 2 first round knockouts back to back, right? Like I say, 6 out of the fights were stoppages. Yeah, Jai, he caught him with a vicious left hook at the end of the first round. And that was it. Instantly, it was over. Yep. So Jai is still undefeated. He's 24-0, and that was his 19th KO. And that was Zorro's first loss. Yep. He's 17-1 now. And then the next fight, man, woo-wee. Ajit Karbayel against that big Russian guy, Makhmadov, man. He came out there snapping his neck, and Makhmadov looked like he was going to destroy something, like he was going to tear something up, man. But Karbayel, man, he looked great, man. Did you see him? That body attack, man, was beautiful. Moving. He was moving nice for a big. They were heavyweights, right? Yeah. For a heavyweight, yeah, man. And Makhmadov didn't know what to do. And them body punches was hurting him too, man. You could see it all in his face. He finally took a knee. I think it was the 4th round. Yeah. But he was changing levels nicely too, Karbayel was. That was the first time I ever saw him fight. And I was pleased with what I saw. What's up, D, for the win? He moved nice. He was changing levels. His punch placement was excellent. And he was killing Mark Ladog to the body. I think Mark Ladog took a knee for the first knockdown, didn't he? I think he just took a knee. And then he dropped him in the 4th round. Then he moved in for the kill. Carbajal did. Yeah. He got him with another body punch. Mark Ladog went down, huffing and puffing and breathing all hard, and that was it. You know. Yeah. He showed athleticism, very accurate punching. Yep. Great job by Carbajal. First time I ever saw him. Really impressive performance. What y'all think about Wilder? Should he retire? Or should he keep on going? Ed said keep on pushing, right? And I agree with you the other day, Ed. Give us Wilder and AJ anyway. We've been waiting so long. Give it to us. Just to see. Just so we can say we saw it. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Wilder does. What y'all think? He's coming back, retire? But it was a great card. 6 out of the 8 fights were stoppages. Stoppages. If reporter asks about the other, no comment. And D for the win in the building. What's up, D for the win? Just talking about the day of reckoning. I found this nice article about the history of boxing in the United States. I know I talked about that before, but this is, it just goes literally from decade to decade. Very interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it today though. I might start it today, but very interesting. I was supposed to do the Murderers Row fighters, but nah, probably not today. The next profile will be Roberto Duran. Probably Tuesday. I'm not coming on tomorrow. Yeah. Then next up was Daniel Du Bois and Jarrell Miller, big baby Jarrell Miller. Came in over 300 pounds. Du Bois stopped him with less than 10 seconds left in the fight. I think it was 8 seconds, yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah. To keep the streak of the first 5 fights being stoppages going. Yep. 8 seconds to go. He stopped him. Yep. And he's the first fighter to ever stop Big Baby. Yep. The original Big Baby came in over 300 pounds. And you can see he clearly got tired. You know, he wasn't doing nothing. Like the last couple of rounds. Now, he was applying a lot of pressure early though. Because you see when his legs gave way, about halfway through. Yeah, Remo, he does it. He's just big. He looks like he should be in the WWE instead of boxing. You think he needs to retire? He said he was coming back. But you know what like us after the fight, the adrenaline's still pumping and, you know. But you gotta let a little bit of time pass by. That's why I think with Wilder, give him some time to think, talk to his wife, you know. He might pull out. He's a very rich man, like I just said. But yeah, Big Baby ran out of the gas. But Du Bois was beating him dominating him the entire fight. Even in the beginning, you know. Du Bois was working behind a decent jab, and Big Baby was wrestling. His legs was weak, like halfway through, you could see. And by the last 2 rounds, he didn't have anything left. And then I thought he was gonna make it, but then Du Bois got him on the ropes at the end, and got to put that barrage of hooks on him. And the referee stepped in 8 seconds and stopped it. Wow. So the boys, first one to stop Big Baby with 8 seconds to go. The boys now has 20 wins and 2 losses. His 2 losses coming to who was it? Was it Usyk and Fury? I know Usyk beat him in a controversial thing. You know, the last fight for the title when the low blow. Yeah. Usyk gets deformed, you know. If that was a low blow. But I think Fury beat the boys too, right? So he goes to 20 and 2. And of his 20 wins, 19 of them are knockouts. Wow. That's a great knockout rate. And that was Big Baby's first loss, by the way. Yep. First time getting stopped, first time losing. 26 and 1 with 22 knockouts. Yeah, you're right, Remo. He don't look like an athlete at all, just big. Look like an offensive lineman. You know. They bring him in when you get down to the 1 yard line, you know. He's part of the goal line offense. People his size. You know, just get down low and get in somebody's way. The running back coming right behind you. Get down low and push forward. 333 pounds. Come on, man. And boxing. You see that outfit he had on? Somebody on his team need to tell him, you know, get some long trunks or something, Big Baby. Look like he had a diaper on, man. But let's move on. Yeah, that was his first loss, the first time he got stopped. Big Baby Miller. And then we was getting to the main part. The Bivol, this was the first title shot, first super title shot on the card. Bivol was defending his WBA light heavyweight strap against Lyndon Arthur. This was the first fight on the card to go the distance. Yeah. 6th fight on the card, first one to go the distance. So the day of reckoning delivered, you know, as far as I'm concerned. It delivered big time. I hope I sound okay because I'm out here in the car. Because, yeah, hope I sound okay. Gotta do what you got to do sometimes. I couldn't get the microphone to work on my phone at first. That's why I was so late. But Bivol retained his light heavyweight strap with a dominant unanimous decision. I believe all judges, all of them had him throwing a shutout. I had him throwing a shutout too. Let me see. Yeah, all 3 judges had it 120, 107. Because he got the 1 2-point round, remember? Yeah, that's what dropped. Arthur had 107 instead of 108. Okay. Dominant unanimous decision. Not really much to talk about. Okay. You know he was going to box well. He was nailing Arthur with sharp pinpoint combinations throughout the fight. Okay, knocked him down in the 11th round. Yeah, I knew he had a knockdown. And that was with a body shot. Yep. And at the end, I think in the 12th round, he had him, he was kind of unloading on him, but Arthur fought back a little, just enough to keep the referee from stopping it. Because it looked like the referee was getting ready to step in, and then Arthur threw a punch. And he stepped back and let him finish. But it's not too much to talk about. Bivol was his usual self. Great boxer, great footwork, beautiful jab, combinations, level changing, you know, keeping that lead hand out there, controlling the action with it. The normal Bivol type performance. and went on all the judges' cards. Improves his record too. Ooh, he's undefeated. He improved to 22-0. Just 11 KOs. That was only Arthur's second loss. I think he got knocked out by the guy that fought Better Beeb last. I can't think of his name. Oh man, what is the guy's name? He just fought Better. Well, didn't just fight him, but I think that was his last fight. Anthony Yard. I think he stopped Arthur, if I remember correctly. That was one of his two losses. I don't know who the other one was against. So now Bivol is going up against Better. Oh nope, I'm not going to. Like I said earlier, you see what happened last night. I'm not going to say that. Going up against Better Beeb or Callum Smith, because this is boxing, man, and anything can happen. When you're looking ahead to that big mega fight, anything can happen. You know, flawless mentality. Flawless Mentality and Black Entertainment, hosted by Dr. Mark, is in the building. How are you, Flawless Mentality? Always good to see you, bro. Always good to see you. You know, of course, we're talking about their day of reckoning a little bit. I didn't know I was going to stay on it this long, but getting some good feedback from the chat and everything. Yeah. We was kind of wondering if Wilder's going to retire, or I know what he said last night about coming back and continuing, but you know, of course they're going to say that right after the fight. You know, the adrenaline's still flowing, and we got to wait, let a little bit of time pass by. Talk to his family, talk to his wife, because you can see his wife plays a big role in his career, because she's always right there by his side. Normally gets in the ring after his fights and everything. I didn't see her in there last night, but she normally is in there. But she's always right there with him. So I know him and her are going to have a good discussion about it. You know. So we'll see. We will see. Can y'all still hear me? Because I went out one time. I was late. I couldn't even get this microphone on my phone to work for like 30 minutes. I was going crazy. Because I know we're missing Jay Hardcore in the morning. Got to give y'all some kind of boxing talk. Early part of the day. Just Do was just in here. I don't know. Did Just Do come on Sundays? I'm not sure. Yeah. But Bivol is now looking forward to a fight between the winner of Arthur Better Beeb and Callum Smith, which will be on January 13th from somewhere in Canada. And then the next fight was takes two fights was the two co-main events. First was Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, and wow. Joseph Parker ripped up the script, man. Tore the script to shreds, man. You know, the day of reckoning had AJ and Wilder at the top of the card, showcasing that next fight, man. Had the date and everything. Even had a rematch signed. And then, on the way to the fight, Joe Parker appeared. But you know, I'm not making excuses for Wilder, man. But you know, we should have saw this coming. I didn't see it coming either. But you know, listen, Wilder had one fight in over 2 years. Parker had 3 fights this year. Okay, Wilder, you got one man with one fight in 2 years, 38 years old. The other man, 31, 3 fights this year. Parker had only 1 round in over 2 years. Well, Wilder had only 1 round in over 2 years. Parker had only 14, but you know, that's a lot more than 1, because he had a 10-round decision, and I looked it up. Then he had a 3-round stoppage and a 1 first-round stoppage in his other 2 fights this year. So he had 14 rounds, you know. So we should have saw this coming. I think I did say Friday if Parker could get it to the cards, you know, he had a very good chance of winning it. And he did. And those reflexes paid off too, man, because he was ducking that right hand. He was ducking that right hand, you know. And he was that overhand right. He was getting that overhand right in there consistently, man. Consistent. And like I was saying earlier, that Father Time's O is never gonna go, right? Father Time's O is never gonna go, right? That's one O that ain't going nowhere. Father Time is going to stay undefeated, man. You know? Yep. Old Father Time. Yeah. And you know, like me, a lot of fans was looking forward to Wilder and AJ. And for one reason or another, we never got that fight, you know, and now it looks like we might not get it at all, you know. You know, I say have it anyway, because you know we've been waiting so long. Just have it. Wilder got some rounds in, you know. They can only be positive. It was supposed to be March 9th, but I know they're not, you know. After what happened last night, no way they had that fight March 9th. No way. And I had Parker throwing a shutout. I think one judge gave him the shutout too. Yeah, let me see. I got some notes here. I had some long notes on that fight. One judge had it. One judge gave him the shutout, and the other two had it 118, 110, 118, 110. I'm at 118, 111. So Wilder only got no more than one round anyway. Out of the whole fight, and which was right. I didn't give him any. I almost gave him 8 because I thought he had Parker a little stunned in 8 and did some good work. But then at the end of the round, Parker stole it back. Remember, he almost stopped Wilder at the end of the 8th. Remember? Well, not almost stopped it, but he had him in trouble, and it was late in the round. It might have turned out different if that would have been a little earlier. You know, wouldn't that have been something? And Parker and his coach, Andy Lee, trainer, said they were going for the knockout. I thought they was just saying that, but they wasn't joking. The way he was in there throwing that overhand right and putting that pressure. Because the way the fight started, Wilder was doing all the moving, and Parker was being the aggressor early. Yeah. Yeah. And Wilder was just moving around with that right hand cocked, man. He wasn't letting his hands go. What was wrong? Was it the inactivity? Or mixture of age and inactivity together? You know? I just couldn't understand it. And by the time they got to like 7, he needed a knockout. Because Parker had won every round. You know, I don't know why Wilder was raising his hand after the fight before the decision, because he knew he had lost, man. Clearly had gotten beat, you know, clearly. And yeah, Parker dominated throughout the fight. And like I was saying, they had a chance to stop Wilder towards the end of the 8th round. A little bit more time, he might have did it. So dominant, one judge gave him every round. And the other two, I think, gave Parker 1 round. Yep. And, you know, we all knew about Wilder's sparse activity over the past few years. His timing was clearly off. You know, I'm not making excuses for him, but hey, it is what it is. You know, he got in there and fought, so can't use that one. You know? And then he got in there against a guy that had 3 fights, a guy that's been very active. You know, this was Parker's fourth fight of this year. And like I was saying Friday, Parker is a pretty good boxer. You know, I wouldn't expect him to be as aggressive as he was last night. Wow. And he was ducking that big right hand from Wilder, though, man. Every time Wilder threw it, he was dipping down and coming right into Wilder's chest. Yup. And Wilder was telegraphing it, man. He was kind of like cocking it and winding up, you know? Could see it coming from a mile away. Guess you attribute all that to the inactivity. Man, just disappointing. Just disappointing. Yeah, he was, wasn't he, Ed? Oh, I'm stepping right inside of it, man. He did an excellent job at that, man. Excellent. I thought he did an excellent job of dodging that right hand, man. Yes, he did. And he got the unanimous decision. And he said he did some training with Tyson Fury. And then he said that the advice Tyson Fury gave him worked out real good, you know. Mm-hmm. And he had that overhand right working, though. Yes, he did. He had it working. Let me see. Do I have a link? I may as well put it in. I got like 30 minutes left here. Okay, and then so Parker gets the unanimous decision. I had him winning every round. One judge gave him every round, and the other two gave Wilder one round. Just dominant. Nobody saw that coming, but we should have. I guess. You know, age and inactivity. Okay. Yeah. We got like 30 minutes. I'm going to put the link because I got to get out of here at 4. Where's Thomas Hill at today? He was supposed to talk about the murderous row. I wasn't going to do it anyway because I figured talking about all these fights would kill the time. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to put the link in. I got like a half hour left. Got to go at 4. I don't know if this dude is coming on. He was in here. He's probably listening. Are you coming on at 4, Just Dude? Because I'm out the door. And the Day of Reckoning is in the books. I guess the next one is the big undisputed fight. Wonder what that undercard is going to look like. Can't wait to see it. And then we got the Prime rollout next year, early next year, you know. Right? So we got a lot to look forward to in this boxing game for this new year. And this Saturday was the last card. Oh no, I'm lying. We got Tuesday. We got I was getting ready to say it was the last card, but we got the Monster Tuesday. We got the Monster Tuesday. That's right, Cass. Don't give out no wrong information. We got Monster Anyway Tuesday morning, you know, from the Japan situation. I asked the guy one time and he told me that he fights on Tuesday because like Saturday is our big fight day. It's Tuesday in Japan for some reason. So, you know, so it's Tuesday morning. Well, I guess it'd be what, 7, 8, something like that. And he's going up against Marlon Tapales for undisputed in the 122. What is that? Junior featherweight? Yeah. And he's trying to become only the fourth person to be 2-time undisputed in the 4-belt era. Trying to join Bud Crawford, the GOAT, Clarissa Shields, and Katie Taylor, who has done it in 2 divisions, by the way. I think lightweight and junior welterweight. Katie Taylor is undisputed in the 4-belt era in 2 divisions. I don't know how she gets away with that because she hasn't fought at lightweight since last year, October of 2022. But hey, I'm just a little content creator with 600 subscribers. So who am I to complain about Katie Taylor not fighting, not getting stripped? I mean, and yeah, we got a nice women's fight coming up early next year too. Natasha Jonas and Michaela Mayer. That's for Natasha Jonas's. I believe it's welterweight. Welterweight, I think. Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, Natasha Jonas is ranked #1 in that division. She was on my women's top 10 too, like 7. Michaela Mayer didn't make it. She should have, but everybody can't make it. All these great fighters. And tomorrow, the profile will be the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Okay, the Hands of Stone. I have been doing a lot of the older fighters from the 20s, 30s, 40s, but Roberto Duran is one of my favorite all-time fighters. So I had to get him in there. Yeah. Hurt me to my heart when that No Moss fight, man. Felt like crying, but I didn't. I don't think I did, but it hurt me. But he came back from that and became a champion in like what? 3 more weight? Yeah, 54, 60, and 68, I believe. Or I know he had got 3 more belts and 3 more weight classes after that. So he made a nice comeback from that. From the No Moss fight. Yeah. So, that's something. I'll make sure this link is right. Yeah. Bet the farm on that link. Okay. Now we still got one more fight. AJ. Oh, AJ. And AJ looked good. All them English people were talking about AJ is back. He's back. Eddie heard that was the AJ I used to know. But he went up against Otto Wallin, but I must say AJ did look good. Here's my buddy William Old School around. What's up, Old School? What you think about that day of reckoning? Well, I saw you last night in Stormy B Man, so yeah, I saw a few comments of it with Old School. But how you doing this Sunday out there? How those Saints doing, Old School? They're gonna get their second straight. Oh, wait a minute. Did they play Thursday night? I'm not sure. But what's up, Old School? Oh, man, I don't know if I can bring anybody. I don't know how to bring you up on this phone. Man, so I might have problems with that link. I shouldn't have dropped it because I'm on my phone, man. I'll figure it out, though. But what's up, Old School? Yeah, Anthony Joshua looked good. Old School, you think Wilder should retire? We was going over that earlier, And Jay is okay. He's just resting up. He'll be back soon. Oh, they did play Thursday. Right. I thought so, Old School. Yeah. Yeah, GP said that he had talked to Jay. He's doing fine. He's just resting up. I texted with him yesterday, but we didn't talk about shows or anything. I was just trying to make sure he was okay. And I had to talk to him about another matter too. But yeah, he's okay. Probably be back one day next week. I'm not going to be on tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I agree, Old School. Like I was telling everybody, Old School, he said what he said last night because it's right after the fight, adrenaline's still flowing, still thinking about the loss. But once he gets some time a little bit of time passed by and some time to reflect, talk with his wife, who's always by his side, a member of his team there, he might be thinking differently. He's a very rich man. He could have retired after the Fury fights if he wanted to and been comfortable, Appreciate your flawless mentality. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Flawless Mentality in Black Entertainment, hosted by Dr. Marley. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, Wilder, after some time passed by, he might reconsider, you know. Is that somebody trying to get in here? Let me see. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, I'm gonna figure out how to get you up here. There we go. Here we go. Oh, I got it. Guess. See, I'm on my phone. I got it. Aunt McQueen and Remo. There's Aunt at the stage. Oh, Aunt is up. You up here, Aunt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's Remo. Remo at the stage. See, I'm on my phone, man. Okay, there you go. Remo, you in the building?
What's going on, man?
Okay, not too much. Aunt McQueen and Remo in the building. How y'all doing this afternoon?
I'm cool, man. Watching a little football, talking a little boxing, you know.
How you like the Day of Reckoning?
You know what? It was crazy. I was at the Knicks game while I was watching that shit.
Oh, you was? Okay.
So I was like bouncing in between Wi-Fi and the garden, kind of crazy. But from what I've seen, like just in totality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think boxing goes the way that the heavyweight division usually goes.
Yeah, that's true.
And like them dudes, like it's decent names out there, but the future ain't in heavyweight boxing. Like they still trying to bank on Wilder to come out and beat this guy at 38 years old, and
I know
he had a late start in life in boxing. The storyline is amazing, but the consistency isn't there for him. He switched trainers, so he got who you with Malik Scott, I think now. So whatever fundamentals he was going to get from back then, he still ain't going to get now. And then you ain't fighting often, and you ain't getting no rounds.
Yeah, I know, man. That really hurt him. I thought that inactivity. Yeah.
But I think that's why they should start looking in a different direction if they really want to pick up some steam when it comes to this heavyweight division. Like there's a lot of old cats on that joint that you know the young dudes ain't really checking for, and then when them names start falling off the board, what's left?
Yeah, and then you know the guy Wilder fought. He was in his fourth fight this year, so he was very active. You know,
I don't think they're not putting the energy behind the young names as well. Like I get it, like you know your cornerstone guys going to lead you over the hump as far as popularity, but you got to get the next. Who's going to be the next name jumping up into that? You know,
I don't know. They got the what's his name? The real big baby.
The little big baby.
Anderson. But he's talking about he only gonna fight for like 3 more years. Remember, Jared Anderson.
Yeah, but if you got him for 3 years, see what you can get out of him in that 3 years. Stop putting him on these little club fights in his hometown. Like I always say, give me a competition to let me know what I got. I'm not buying these dudes not really fighting nobody, and then when they get somebody that's really competition, they say we went to bed or he wasn't that, or you can let me know that at 20-something years old rather than 31, 32.
That's true. I'd like to see him against somebody like Herkovic or somebody like that, you know. Or that other guy, what was his name? Argyle. I was impressed with him. I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. The one that beat the big Russian guy.
No, the one that was upset.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him, man. He looked good.
I don't know. I don't know why I keep getting caught up with this whole Andy Ruiz thing, but like he's not old, but he's not young, but it's like
Who, Andy?
Yeah, he got fast hands for a big dude. It's like it's kind of an anomaly when it comes to a big dude with speed like him, with hand speed like him. But
yeah,
I just think these heavyweight champions don't even look like champs. They look like sumo wrestlers. These dudes be big as shit. Just like it's not even appealing to really look at.
Yeah, that's what Big Baby looked like, a sumo wrestler. Yeah, Carbayel, that was the guy I was thinking about.
That was an embarrassment looking at Big Baby. He didn't even look like an athlete in the face. I'm looking at him like, why do you look like that? Like that just looked crazy. He was getting shit jabbed out of him by Dubois
The boy.
looked like, he looked
Yeah.
sharp in there too. So I'm glad
Yes, he did.
he ain't get caught with like a sloppy haymaker. Because when you big, you just big. He hit you with some shit. You know what I mean? It might take you out. But,
Yeah. You might get a lucky shot in. And he stopped him. 8 seconds
yeah,
left.
yeah.
That was the first time Big Baby had ever been stopped, too.
And that's the last time I want to see Big Baby ever in the ring. I don't want to see that dude no more.
Me neither. He said he was coming back, though.
Oh no, thank you.
That was actually his first loss. Yep.
But he's got so much. He's got so much other controversy around his name. Is like
Yeah, I
between
know.
between the steroid, you know what I mean, being banned for an amount of time and then coming back now is like, for what?
How old is he anyway? Big Baby. He's pretty old too, ain't he?
I don't know. And I'll probably tell you more than me.
Okay.
With the
Yeah, what's
age
up, man?
factor.
I'm in the cut, man. Chilling.
Okay. Yeah. What you think about the Day of Reckoning?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
I
It was
enjoyed
long, but it was okay. They got through it faster than the other time, the festivities and stuff. They didn't have all that stuff this time,
Yeah, they definitely did get to it. I mean, there were a couple of moments where felt like they kind of postponed the action. They were doing quite a bit of talking. I'm like, I don't want to hear Chris Mannix anymore. Like, get on to the next fight. There were a couple of lulls, but for the most part, they did do a good job with the pacing, because that was a pretty big card in terms of the number of fights.
Yeah.
That thing
Six
was on from like 11 in the morning until about like 6 in the evening or something like that.
It sure was. Yeah. 6 of them were stoppages, right? 6 stoppages. Yep. 5, the first 5. Yep.
Yeah, quite a few fights were pretty brief.
I know. It still took all day.
I agree with Remo. I mean, that's one thing that we say as fans that I personally don't agree with, I don't understand, nor do I endorse or champion. The whole idea of us waiting to see in a few more fights from any fighter. A guy could be 30-0. Like, well, I don't know if he should be fighting this guy.
Right.
We got to see a few more fights to see what?
For
if
what?
He ain't ready now, he ain't never going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to it. Or we could mess around and find out that this guy is a little bit more ready than what we believe them to be. Or we could put them in there. Like, yo, here's the thing. In the past, right? Like, how many times did Muhammad Ali fight Joe Frazier?
3 times, wasn't it?
3 times, right? Yeah. He fought Ken Norton multiple times.
Yep. 3.
Fought Liston at least twice, right?
Yep. Sure
Run
did.
that shit back. If we don't like the result, or if it's close enough of a fight, run it back. I mean, Joe Frazier got completely just knocked out by George Foreman. They still ran it back.
Still ran
Patterson
it back.
got knocked out by Ingmar Johansson. They ran it back. Willie Pep got knocked out by Sandy Sadler. They fought 4 times. Willie Pep won one time by decision. The other 3 times, Sandy Sadler knocked him out. And they were still running it back. Nowadays, we just like, oh, well, if the guy gets knocked out, we don't need to see it no more. Like, how the hell do we know? Because there's so many small factors that we don't take into consideration that contribute not only to the outcome of a fight, but a fighter's performance. Like, I was just listening to John Scully this morning, and he was talking about his experience as a pro fighter and how it took him 6 years into his professional career to learn how to properly lose weight. Certain things that he was doing that optimized his performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like eating 4 or 5 times a day, eating small meals, spacing them out, and how the weight was just falling off. And at one point, he was basically starving himself, eating 600 calories a day, and he couldn't figure out why he couldn't get the weight off or why his performance. Like, sometimes it takes a minute for guys to find that magic formula. Yeah, for it to be the proper regimen, routine, things of that sort.
Exactly.
That contribute to their performance.
Right, and like
mentality.
you were saying, the fans don't
You know
know
what I mean?
about that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah,
I think as fans, we
yeah,
don't consider any of that stuff. We look at these guys like they're
no.
robots. Oh, you're a gladiator. You're a tough guy. You guys punch each other in the face. That's all it takes right there. It's just to be tough,
Yeah.
nothing more or less. You know what I mean?
And you
So
know, like you say, if a young guy get in there and everybody's saying he's not ready, put him in there. If he's not ready, one loss shouldn't be the end of him. You know? Let's see
Yeah,
if
if he's ready. Like
anything,
he might be ready.
if anything, that one loss could be the catalyst that spurs on the change that brings out a
Yeah,
better version of him.
yeah,
like
Because now he's thinking, and he's reflecting like, damn, why did I lose? And if his team,
yep.
if they're taking inventory, like, yo, what was he eating? What was his routine like? What was his sleep like? What was he, like, what was he consuming? What was he doing? You know what I mean? Like, people got to take that type of approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say just dietary alone. Just like the way you approach a fight, like Canelo did with Mayweather. He changed a lot of his strategy being that he lost to him so early. And now
Right.
look at him. Like, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? You gave Mike
Yeah.
Tyson a chance early to be a heavyweight champion at a very young age. Tank went in there with a Pedraza. You know, I'm not the historian of the historians, but I've seen these young kids get opportunities to be that guy, like, you know, and not be fearful of like Zav was a belt holder at a young age. Even
Yeah.
Adrian Broner, they would say who he really beat at a young age, but he was willing to really get in there and continue to get in there with names continuing his career.
He got a
Regardless
nice
of the
resume.
Once the O was gone, it's like, all right, why not keep going and
Keep
prove
going.
yourself, you know? And look at we could look at it the other way around. Like Keith Thurman, he took a loss, and then he wanted to basically cherry pick the rest of his career.
Yeah,
He's been on the shelf since.
Ever since, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, don't give me that, you know, the matchmakers is gonna make you look great, and then you give me Colbert. Like, you know, this shit it's not turning out the way for these, because basically, what are we looking forward to further down your career? If you don't, you're not developing into anything better. You're going out there, you letting us know who you really are. You lied to us. You sold us a dream.
Yeah. It made me think that they kept advertising Edgar Berlanga last night. He coming back early next year.
Yo, that contract is gonna look so bad for him. Him in the zone with Eddie, because he got dropped off his last contract, but you know,
Right.
he invested in him as a young fighter, and I don't think he's more than Curtis Stevens type shit.
Yeah,
I believe he can be. He's got all of the talent. But it comes down to the thing that separates these guys. What I'm starting to see at the top level is preparation and application. That's what it comes down to, because everybody's got talent at a certain point. It's just varying to, you know, small degrees as to who is more talented than the other.
Yeah,
because one guy may have in speed, the other guy may lack in power, the other guy may lack in this, that, and the third.
Right.
So these guys are all very, very talented. Yeah, it's not that much separation, but preparation and ultimately application are extremely important. And to Remo's point, in terms of the matchmaking, I think that when the matchmaking is too favorable, it tends to lead to complacency, because you don't have to raise your level, or you don't have to be overly dedicated or disciplined to beat a certain level of opposition. Because and sometimes it's not just a matter of those guys not being talented enough, but when guys are at a certain point, like these journeymen, typically these guys aren't able to dedicate themselves completely to the sport because they don't have the resources. You know, we say things like, yo, this guy's a plumber or a construction worker or a cab driver as an insult. But you got guys like Salito, who was literally driving Uber. And it's not a knock against him, but he hasn't enjoyed the same resources or level of fanfare that would afford him to not work a second job. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot different for him than it is for another guy who has access to those resources, where he can commit all of his time and put all of his eggs, so to speak, in one basket and commit fully to boxing. Some guys don't have that same luxury.
And speaking of Salido, he used to work with Tim Layton's father.
Awesome.
Yep.
So if you're one of those guys where you're afforded that opportunity to do so, take full advantage of it. Take full advantage of it.
The difference that I see in boxing, right? I think everybody's given the opportunity, or in their mind, that they're great, right? But there's only in each sport a handful of great players. Everybody's talented enough to be a professional, to get paid at the highest level. But there's a very few amount of people that are great. And I think these kids are being told there's a certain greatness about them. And it's like a false sense of reality because they're not really working on the craft consistently. Like Kobe was a machine because his mental was different. Jordan, LeBron. But they're amongst a league full of other professional athletes that are better than the average Joe. But their mentality separated them in a whole different level.
They was always working on their craft.
There's no stopping that because Carmelo Anthony's great, but he's not LeBron.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And
I know that.
That's just an attestment of I'm gonna spend this extra money and be a 40-year-old man dropping 40 and scoring and dominating the same way I am today. And that's like a LeBron would be like a Floyd.
Yeah.
I agree with 1,000%, Remo. See, but the thing is this also is guys being cognizant of that. And it's not just so much a matter of their greatness being just God-given. Because there's a certain level of innate talent that everybody has. But like you said, it's the discipline, it's the dedication, it's even when you don't have some shit lined up, you're still getting work in. That's what really truly separates these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's the real common denominator between all of them. It's not the talent, it's the discipline. Even when you don't have a fight lined up, how are you eating? How are you carrying yourself? How are you conducting yourself?
And perfect example of that right there would be Tim Bradley. He wasn't the biggest puncher, the most talented, but when if he had a fight coming up, he was doing 1,000 sit-ups a day. He was fighting you from 1 to 12. Sean Porter, not a lot of power, not a lot of height, but he outworked a lot of his opponents to victories. He found himself with belts.
Or even to your point too, right? Like Michael Jordan is somebody who got cut from his high school basketball team.
Became a maniac.
Shout out to Leroy Smith, because I felt like he didn't deserve that, because Jordan was hella petty. Invited the dude who made the team over to his Hall of Fame induction. Leroy Smith. But again, that right there should show you, and it signifies the importance of dedication and discipline. That a guy that we now look at as the greatest of all time didn't even make his high school basketball team varsity.
Wow.
And he got cut.
That's something to think about.
He came back the next year even better than he did previously. Terrence Crawford is a similar situation where a lot of his contemporaries were highly decorated amateurs. They made the Olympic team. He didn't. He didn't make the Olympic team. Now your man is 2 times undisputed.
One of the only ones in the 4-belt era,
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stick with it. And then some of these other guys, they get the accolades and they get the adulation pretty early on. Like Berlanga. Berlanga was knocking everything out, moving, do the matchmaking, and got a little bit complacent. Then you see him in there with a guy like Steve Rolls, that you would expect him to just get up out of there, and you would expect him to make quick work, or you just completely dispatch him. And he's struggling with guys at this level.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
think.
ended up getting knocked down.
But see, as a new fan to the sport, like myself, right? Like it's hard to attach to certain cats like that because they being sold wolf tickets, basically. Like, oh, this guy is this guy is that, and then I'm starting to vest myself into these guys and realize slowly but surely that they're not really that guy.
Mm,
And it's hard
yeah,
because the greatest is always seen as like unless I have another great in front of me, it's a cakewalk. And I don't see that level of separation from those who are deemed as phenoms, the next, and all of this other. I don't see that separation. Like when we grew up, like watching Mike Tyson walk in the ring and demolish a grown man as a kid. You like,
yeah.
oh shit, like this is something different. Even if you're not
Mm-hmm.
even into boxing like that, you just look at it like, yo, what was that? Who is this? I'm not
Yeah.
seeing that. I'm not
Quick.
seeing that often, you know.
No. Nope.
And
Not
that's
Well,
now.
I'll say this, Remo. I think that you are seeing it, but I believe that your perspective has expanded immensely
mm-hmm.
because even early on with Mike Tyson, a lot of that was the product of matchmaking. Then you
Good
get to a
point.
certain
Good
point
point.
where it's like now he's not just dusting cats off like that, and a lot of folks argue that Mike Tyson was overrated because most of his big fights, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, this, that, and the third. He lost whenever a
No,
guy
no,
didn't
no.
whenever a guy didn't bend the knee.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's further down the line. But most of the dudes that's supposed to be that guy right now, you put them in front of somebody who shouldn't even be in the ring with them. They don't look like world beaters. They look like they just got over the hump. Like, all right, like let's say for
But with
instance, right?
Berlanga, his first 16 fights, he was looking like a world beater. But again, it was designed for it to look that way.
But nobody knew him yet. Nobody knew him yet. So now, if you put Belanga in there with somebody who's not supposed to be that guy, now that he didn't got the attention of people, he's not following up that hype before he actually get in there with a name. He not bowling over people no more. That time is over with. Even
Mm-hmm.
for instance, like Keyshawn, he still arguably hasn't lost many rounds, but it's like you took up such a big moment and not deliver with a name that's not a household name yet. What am I to expect when you get in there with an Andy Cruz?
Mm.
And this is just the lens of a casual fan because Andy Cruz right now ain't nobody crazy, but the average fan could follow storylines. Oh, I've been beating this kid
That's
since he
right.
was in an amateur.
Because they got that history. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so now when the storyline come around, like man, I've been kicking this kid ass, but Keyshawn is the name. Andy Cruz is a story.
Right.
So if he come in there and he's been a professional longer than him, 10 fights in now or something like that,
Yeah. I think it is about 10. Yeah.
it shouldn't look like what it could look like, you know?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
So,
See, but
I
that's
just
where
think,
all of the nuance and everything comes into play, and that's why I'm saying, in my personal
That's
opinion,
right.
I know you consider
Mm-hmm.
yourself to be a casual fan, but you have crossed over from being a casual fan.
I've
To
been
me,
trying to tell him.
being a hardcore fan is not a matter of being a complete almanac or an encyclopedia, but the fact that you are
No.
constantly in the pursuit of knowledge and you're always
mhm.
educating yourself. That's what makes somebody a hardcore fan. Being a hardcore fan is knowing, like, okay, I got this certain level of education in this particular or expertise to know, like, yo, I don't know everything. Let me keep learning. Let me keep learning. Let me keep learning. Casual fans don't
Mm-hmm.
really care about continual,
No.
the continual pursuit of knowledge. It's just like,
See,
all right,
but
what's going on right
I'm
now?
a
Boom, boom,
casual.
boom. That's it.
I'm a casual nigga, so I like to invite casuals around. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I have like a lot of like functions, and I be around, but I want them to not make me look crazy when I come to talk them up. That's my problem. That's what I need. That's what I need from them. Like, don't embarrass me at the height of the moment when it's your turn. That's all I want. That's all I'm looking for and seeking from these dudes. Because these dudes are talented, but it's like, don't talk me something crazy, and then when I feel as though I could be vested in you. Now you embarrassed me. You got me looking crazy at the bar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You knew what you was going. Even when Zab got knocked out, you knew it was because he was in the club and he wasn't taking this shit serious and shit like that. But the talent that was behind him was undeniable when he was that guy. Sparky
Absolutely,
shit, you know.
But that's where having a holistic viewpoint and not just looking at talent, not just looking at attributes, but looking at everything.
Yeah, the rest.
That's where the match. I mean, that's how these matchmakers are thinking. They're not just looking at talent; they're looking at everything as a whole.
Yeah.
What is the guy saying in interviews? Like with Wilder, right? Like most recently, I've been feeling. I mean, like the tea leaves were there, the writing was on the wall, the signs were there for us to see.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, but we didn't.
The signs were there for us to see.
But yeah, I know. I didn't want to see it. That was my problem.
We don't want
They
to
was
see
there,
it.
but I didn't want to see it. Yeah.
So is it
that's
over
what I
for
was
Wilder?
saying. It was all there, right there.
I believe so. I think it's been over. I think it's been over for some time now. To be honest with you, for me, it's not just a matter of him losing in brutal fashion in the second fight to Fury. And I understand completely when people say, you know, these fighters, they leave a piece of themselves in the ring each time. But I think it goes beyond that. I have to look at what it takes to even be able to be in there to get stopped in the 11th round. You know what I mean? Like, that's the things that I look at, like the preparation.
Yeah.
Like you know what it's like, you know, as somebody who's a creative person, like even when you're editing a video, right, you can edit it short. It takes you more than the 15 seconds that it takes to create an advertisement, to put all this shit together. It boils down to that 15 seconds, but more than 15 seconds goes into that 15 seconds. So like, let's say you get your ass whooped in a fight, a 12-round fight, and you get stopped in the 11th. Just think about how many weeks and months it takes just to even make it to that point to where you can compete for 11 rounds. And I'm looking at the things that Wilder's saying in the interview and saying like, man, I don't think he wants to do this shit no more. You know what I mean? Like, not just the fight night itself, but the preparation, everything that it takes to even be able to do that. Just to even be able to get stopped in the 11th round, you got to do far more than what most people are willing to do.
That's why I was saying he might have said what he said last night about coming back, but once some time passed by, you know, and you think about it, it might be a whole different conversation from him, you know?
But that's why I'm tired of them pushing these fights back. And I say, you know, I think Tank and Devin got to reevaluate what they just seen yesterday. The moment passes you, that paycheck is gone. And the sad thing about it is,
that's true.
Between the both of them cats, I don't care who is in and around that them to fight. Ain't no built-in story like them.
Like Coach Tommy said, fry the egg while the pan is hot. You know. So yeah. But look, fellas, we gotta wind this down. I gotta get ready to go. And I'll be back Tuesday. Y'all still here? Yeah, I shall return Tuesday at 2 p.m.
You gotta fry the egg while the pan is hot.
That's right.
I feel like that about summarizes it. You know? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Short and to the point. Short and concise.
Yeah, can't let that pan get warm. The egg's not gonna fry correctly, you know. Okay, well, I gotta get on up out of here.
Yes, sir.
I'll be back
really
Tuesday.
Appreciate
you, man. Same to you and the fam. Have a good one. Have Merry Christmas. And I'll be back on Tuesday. Appreciate everybody. Just do. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Got to go do some things. Last minute stuff. But I appreciate everybody that came through today for this short one. William Old School event. Flawless Mentality, D for the win. Just Do Boxing. I don't think Just Do is coming on today. GP, Gregory Pratt, BN Boxing News, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and more, Tim Layton, JBT, and my two panelists today. They came up was Ant McQueen and Remo. Appreciate everybody that continues to support my small channel. But guess what? You got to be small before you can be big, right? Cash Sports, y'all. Happy holidays to everyone. Hey.